of the ocean's deep woo. Hang on just a minute. It's not coming out as easily as it usually does. Get out of there. Okay, thank you. Hello there. It is I. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Okay, this is the ocean of the ocean's deep woo. Here we do the deepest woo. And we're always having such fun here with technology. The technology. It's fun. Okay, so today is the 22nd, 9/22. And we just had the eclipse. And we are told that we actually are once again in a portal, and that has come from several sources. So we're moving, traveling. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, well, this may not be your channel. If you do know what I'm talking about, though, even at that, you might learn something. Apparently, the nature of reality, as we've been told, is not how it really exists. Let's just put it that way. You can do your own research on this. But energetically, the whole species, the whole human species, our whole realm here, is undergoing some deep shifts. Hello, Mr. Mission Control. How you doing? How's Mr. Cowboy? Oh, he's right over here. Now, don't say that. Don't be silly. What are you talking about being silly? Look at who's calling somebody silly. You want to see Mr. Cowboy? Okay, so anyway, energetically, we're changing. And this is the whole darn realm, okay? Whether you believe it or not, some things are just going to continue to exist. So it doesn't really matter whether you believe it or not. There's Mr. Cake. Right there, Mr. Cowboy Cake. My sweet little fellow here. Yes. Rolling his little belly up to be petted. Like he does his little floofy, fluffy white belly fellow here. Sweetest little boy. The sweetest boy. Yes, he loves all that attention and love. He's like, yeah, give me more of that all the time. He just loves attention, so. So anyway, apparently we're in a porthole. A portal, not a porthole. That's different, but a portal. P-O-R-T-A-L, portal. But that implies that we're going somewhere. So energetically we are. So if you've been feeling tired and et cetera, having what they're calling ascension symptoms, you're not alone. A lot of people are having that. Wait a minute. What's going on here? This is all wrong. There, that's a little better. A little better. Okay. So I'm going to get the channel on my other device because it's so tiny I cannot read what you're saying. So let me get over here. There are 20 scientists now that are saying, and I'm reading this off of Union Rail, which is was on Google. The Googles put it in my algorithm. Googlies. On July 1st, researchers discovered Three-Eye Atlas, but they don't know what it is. But a new study signed by 20 of them has put on the table an idea that has sparked the imagination of many. What if it isn't a comet but a camouflage ship? Well, I'm here to tell you more about that. Okay. In fact, we are going to talk about that. We are. We are definitely going to talk about that. Let me get this. Where am I? Hey. There I am. Okay. There I am. Okay. No. There I am. Just echo chamber. Okay. So now I can read what you're saying. Gee, we're so professional. Hello, Jonathan Ong. Hello, just Elena. Hello, Ankle Biter and I, Larice. Skibbity. Well, skibbity bibbity boo. You like deep shifts. I like deep shifts too. So, anyway, Mr. Mission Control, you're something else. I don't know what else. We haven't figured out what else, but he is something else. So basically, we're going to be talking about Three-Eye Atlas and what my take on that is. And since I know when we get a few more of our people in here that do this on a regular basis, we're going to actually do some remote viewing. Unfortunately, we're going to be what they call front-loaded with that. That is, it's really better to get data when you're not front-loaded, when you're not told what the target is. You're just given coordinates. However, in this case, we're going to know what our target is. So bear in mind that some of our results may have to do with that, may have that. And so this is not going to be a scientific study. This is going to be remote viewing done by people who have been remote viewing on a regular basis. And practicing remote viewing. As you may or may not know, remote viewing is the ability to see things beyond with your third eye, with your two eyes, which kind of goes along with looking at Three-Eye Atlas. What they're calling Three-Eye Atlas kind of harkens back to the idea of the third eye, doesn't it? The third eye being your psychic or your etheric eye, which is located in the center of your brain. So the function of this pineal gland is to see things beyond just what your physical eyes see. And you can study that on in a lot of places. They have lots of information about that. If you want to know more about exactly that. But humans have that ability built in. It's just been stifled. So some of us still have the ability to take a look at things outside of the physical range. As you know, we have a very narrow, well, you may not know, we have actually a very narrow range with which we perceive, within which we perceive. We have a very narrow range of light spectrum. We have a very narrow range of hearing. Uh, and our brains are just processing centers that are picking up signals and translating them into pictures and thoughts and sounds. What's really out there, we can't be sure. We're seeing a translation through our brain. There can be things outside of our range, and this is easily provable. Dogs, cats, birds, all kinds of other life forms have other types of perspective on things. They can hear more or less. Some of them only see in black and white. Some of them can see in more colors than we can. Some of them see in UV light. That's their spectrum. So this is all known about. This is not science fiction. But the pineal gland was made to see in a different frequency than our physical eyes. It produces, it's a tiny organ, roughly looks like a pine cone, lined with crystals. So basically we have a little crystal set inside our heads. And when our bodies manufacture DMT, which they actually do manufacture DMT, that sparks off colors and pictures inside our little crystal set there. So that's the mechanism, and you can look into that further if you don't understand it. But that's the very, very short explanation. The longer explanation is seers throughout the ages have used that organ to be able to pick up things that our physical eyes can't see, that, your normal two eyes in the front there can't see. So when we have more of our remote viewers come in, we're going to take a look at 3-eye atlas. But I've already done some work along those lines. And I will tell you, I don't think it's just a hunk of rock speeding through the cosmos. I don't believe that at all. So let's see who came in. Elderberry. So if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, we're going to be talking about that. So we got Mr. Mission Control, we have Elderberry, we have Sexy Sassy. Hey, good seeing you all. Yeah, some see by radar, that's true. Some see by sonar. There are animals that, dolphins use sonar. And bats. I mean, there are creatures that see by entirely different means than we do on a regular basis. So, this is not science fiction. Yeah. Dog noses, they see with their dogs and cats frequently use their noses. They don't even use their eyes to pick things up always. They can detect things in other ways. Ears, their hearing is much better. Also, there's some studies that seem to suggest that dogs, at least dogs, and probably cats and probably other animals too, we think probably birds and so on and so forth, can pick up magnetic fields. And, because dogs, this has actually been explained that this is the reason Dogs, when they're trying to go bathroom, they kind of spin around and they're looking for the exact right way to do, the direction. They're trying to home in on the right direction. So, why does it make so much difference? We don't know, but to them it's important, right? How do we know? So, it's something that I don't think there's been enough research on, but it's obvious that animals see things differently than we do and perceive things differently than we do. And yet, we have abilities that we're just not using. So, good seeing you too. Yeah, and dogs and cats that appear asleep. I am sure that cats are doing other things. I'm sure that Cowboy is off doing other things. Oh, you have been doing cryptocurrency. Oh dear, I'm going to have to go look, Mr. Mission. Hmm. Well, that depends, baby. Front loading or back loading? All depends on the mood, doesn't it? Um, anyway, I'm kind of hoping a few more of us show up that do this kind of thing before I start. But I think I may already have my own answer as to what is going on with Three Eye Atlas. And I'm going to send you back to one of my previous videos, which was really just within the last week or so. How many of you actually paid attention when I was doing channelings and light language and talking about some of our contacts from beyond? Mm-hmm. I've been trying to keep up with some current events. I can't always. I haven't lately. I have been out a lot. Okay, I have been gone a lot. By that I mean I have I've been knocked out. I've been asleep, doing something, doing lots of things. And as you know, I do a lot of things when I'm asleep. I find out later. Um, Sometimes I find out, I get corroboration exactly what I was doing while I was asleep. Anyway, I get up, I go outside of my body and there's a part of me that goes off and does things. I don't, you don't expect me to explain it exactly. It just is that way. And then I get corroboration later that, yeah, that did happen. What I was seeing or dreaming of there did actually happen. So, which particular current events? Mr. Mission, hello, what happened to you? You're not blue anymore. Mr. Michigan Troll. Oh, I see. It's Mr. and Mr. It's like your misters are different. Hi there. It's a different Mr. Mr. Wasn't that a band? Sexy Sassy, which particular events are we talking about? There's been a lot of events. And I know there's a delay, so I will wait a little bit. Slept a lot last week. Yeah. Me too. And I've been writing. When I've been awake, it's been crazy. It's been like I want to write. I'm doing something else, and all of a sudden I get a thought, and I want to write. I want to write it. I want to write it down. I've been writing a lot, and I'm actually on book 2. I'm halfway through book 2. I'm going to be writing a trilogy, and I'm also writing a whole bunch of other things. I'm writing songs, I'm writing um, a cookbook. It looks like I'm writing a musical, um, and it's all at the same time. It's like creativity just won't. There it is. Okay, and I've been warned that that's going to happen. So, and it's funny because, oh, okay. Well, I did actually say what I thought. Hi, Miss, other Mr. Mission. Um, I did actually say that a couple of shows back. Not home, and my phone is kind of hard to hear. Okay, Chloe, it's okay, honey. Um, it's just we're going to be talking about Melrose, and you weren't awake or something. You were having issues with your sleep, um, and we're going to be doing some remote viewing, and I know you like that. So, you look silly, Mission. The other Mission. You're a kitty coin. I don't know what that is, but okay, if you say so. I can't argue against it. What I have said about the Charlie Kirk thing is I have already said it. I said it before it even happened. Right after the shooting happened. And I said this more than one place too. I've said it even over on Psyche's show. I don't have anything personally against Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything anybody does or says, okay? So I'm not like the biggest Charlie, like a fan. I'm not a non-fan though. I'm not like against. He he just was inspiring debates on campuses, as far as I know. And he was a Christian. He was MAGA, and very popular in some circles, and not a bad guy from what I can tell. Although there are people who will try to convince you, like they try to convince people of all kinds of weird things, like that he's all kinds of dictators and horrible person of some sort. But no, he was just a guy with opinions and he wanted debate and actually wasn't an evil man at all that I can tell. He's a guy, okay? But he was gaining popularity in certain circles, particularly MAGA. And extreme leftists hated him, and still do hate him. And apparently, if you ask me, there was a big plan. This was a plan. This was a big plan. And they had to remove him, they felt. There were people that saw him breathing his dying breath, bleeding out on the stage, laughing. They were taking videos of people going and smiling and laughing. And if you ask me, these people have lost their humanity because that is somebody's son, that's somebody's kid, that's somebody's husband and somebody's dad and somebody's good friend, and it's a human, and they're laughing. He was not hurting anybody. And if it's okay to take out somebody that disagrees with you, then we're all in trouble. we're all in deep, 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 deep dark trouble. Because most of us would be gone, long past. If it was okay to just haul off and take out people who disagree with you, there wouldn't be hardly anybody left on this earth. This is one of the reasons we have rules and laws, right? But here's the thing. There were predictions, there were prophecies about this event. Yes, there were. And sure sounds like it. And from various sources. But what I said, as soon as I got the news that he had been taken out. Hello, Scotty. As soon as I got the news, I said, okay, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. He's now a martyr. Now, they have made their worst nightmare. The extreme lefties were all, oh, yay, and giddy and laughing, just like Romans at a circus watching Christians being thrown to lions. Right? And I'm there going, you're laughing now. Whatever he was going to be. And some people were saying, well, he could have ended up maybe the president or something at some future date, or he could have ended up gaining enough popularity, I guess, to be some kind of world leader. Well, there are some interesting things about that, too. Because the astrologers were predicting that it looked like perhaps a world leader was being taken out over that period, that it looked like some world leader was going to fall. Was he a world leader? Not at that time, exactly. Was he a thought leader? Yes, he was. Is he a thought leader now? I predicted this. They made a martyr. You know what happens when you make martyrs? They become bigger than life. And that's exactly what they've done with Charlie Kirk now. Now, Charlie Kirk is not just a man who wants a debate, who might have some kind of a future where he does this or that. Now he is becoming a legend. He is a martyr. He is going to be sparking movements. And guess what? It sounds like there's even been predictions about his wife, who is going around basically taking up the slack. Yeah, there's going to be movements started because of this. Now he's going down in history as a legend. And if they thought that this was going to end something, or that it's going to end something by taking out any of these people that they don't like, it's only going to expand it. It's only going to add fuel to the fire. So they have just shot themselves in their own foot, so to speak. And now he's going to be bigger than he ever was in life. Well, you go, boy. Good for you, Charlie. Looks like you're going to be the big, what, really huge now, posthumously. Now, what aspect do you want me to look at this? Was it a soul contract? It would pretty much have to be. Would somebody like Charlie Kirk agree to a soul contract like that? Oh yeah, I'm sure he would. He was devoutly Christian. Chance to be a martyr. Does this mean consciously? No, not consciously. But before he came to this life, yeah, probably. Yeah, a person like that probably would. So now what have we got? Exactly what I said was going to happen. Exactly. Because I can see these things coming. And it's going to be a big movement. It's going to be all over the world. It's going to be a big movement. And what happened? Ceremonies all over the world for Charlie Kirk. Hey, hey. Okay. So, who was right about all that? Yeah, very predictable. So, anyway, you love your new sweater. I'm so glad to hear about that, Hook. So, that is my view right now on Charlie Atlas. Was that the question you wanted answered? Sexy sassy. There's going to be a big movement now. His wife is going to fan the fires. It's going to be legendary, and it's going to change a lot of things. So there you go. That's what's going to happen. Now, what we've got to concern ourselves with is that it doesn't flip over into the other realm where, where all of a sudden we've got all these religionists who over enforce, who don't allow who don't like other religions. Now, we got to watch out for that now. Or people who don't agree with their particular religion. Are we going to see that getting an upper hand, taking this opportunity for more division? I am for people having their rights to say what they want to say in healthy debate. I am not for blowing people away because they don't agree with you. And I think if you're laughing while a guy is bleeding out on stage, you've lost your humanity. Something's wrong with you. And I really further think that probably the Jabberwocky is at least partly to blame because it interferes with the hippocampus. Paul could tell you about that, my friend Paul, that's been on the show. He's studied this stuff. It interferes with your hippocampus, which is your sense of self. And if your sense of self is interfered with, you can pretty much bet your sense of others too. Your sense of humanity, your very sense of humanity has been messed with. Some people probably much worse than others. There's also been a long period of social conditioning. These people are probably, I'm not going to go into all of the socio-political ramifications right now. Let's just say that they have been conditioned to not function like most humans. Like humans have been functioning. Hi there. Uh-huh. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't. No Raymond jamming? What are you talking about? Hook your phone up and have a Zoom screen. Is that a Zoom? You used to have one, but it was in the old days. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. So, well, I am a natural blonde, but usually my hair is dark blonde. It's like on the edge of being brown. Yeah, yeah, Three Eye Atlas. Now I want to get into what I said we were going to get into. Uh, Three Eye Atlas. That is a spacecraft. Maybe cloaked as a comet. My money is on it's a spacecraft. You know why I'm saying that? But we're going to take a look at it. Now, like I said, it's bad because the bad part is we're front loaded. We know what we're looking at. That means we're not going to be objective. We're going to be going in there with our own thoughts about it. But, yeah, let's get into trouble. Ball jigs, whatever. Okay. You bought a telescope. Cool. And one of the mission controls has got to go use a kitty cat box. Anyway, thank you. You like my hair. Okay. So, a couple of shows ago, I asked for some light language because people were having some effects and could use a little bit of comfort and healing. So I asked for some light language. But it sounded different from usual. And I noticed there was a lot more sounds like "ruh" in there. It was different from the stuff I usually find myself saying. And I said, this is somebody different than usual. Does somebody want to speak? Is somebody trying to get in touch? And that's when I saw off to my right, I saw a very, very large spotted cat being, like a leopard sitting up like a human, otherwise known, yeah, this is a Lyran. And I heard Lyran Council. And I'm like, what? Okay. Wow. Okay. Lyran Council. And then I asked what his name was, and I used to like double think, like, oh no, that can't possibly be because I was hearing something that sounded way too human. Melrose. And I said, Melrose? He said, well, you couldn't pronounce my real name. Okay. And I am translating this because mind speak is very different from what you'd normally think of as speech. It's not speech per se exactly. It's a bunch of sensations all wrapped together. And those of you who do mind speak know this. Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't trust it at first. Melrose Place, right? I'm thinking, is that just some weird fragment in my mind? But no, I was hearing Melrose, and it's like, okay, he wants us to call him Melrose. So, sometimes I wonder, am I just a nice background for you guys chatting about whatever is going on in your lives? It's okay, but, I wonder sometimes. because when I called Chloe, she didn't know what I was talking about, and I think she said something about she'd been not sleeping for 3 days, and I do understand those times like that. So, but yeah, I have. Okay, love you too. And you're really tired. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at Three Eye Atlas. I think Melrose, what he told me, you can see that was about 2 or 3 shows ago, if you look back. What he told me was we couldn't take the portal system all the way. Some of the portals are in dispute, leaving us to figure out exactly what that means, but I get the impression that there are places in the portal system that they can't use right now, is what he's talking about. That they normally use portals to get here and there. Okay, so then he also told me, don't worry, we're family. Fear is not, once again, seems to be something I hear from them a lot. Fear is not your friend. Discernment, yes. And caution, yes, but fear is not your friend. Okay, now long ago I was told, check them out by their energy, okay? This is how you know whether you're dealing with a good being or a bad being. This is how you know if it's the same being. Their energy signature is going to be how you know. So you need to learn that, because other things can be faked. You know, there can be all kinds of illusions, but an energy signature is much harder to fake. So his energy signature checked out as being a positive being. He also told us there's nothing to fear. We're family. Yes, we are coming to see you physically this time. Well, they have been mind speaking with a lot of us. They have been transmitting through a lot of us. This time they are coming to see us physically. And not to be afraid, because they're family. Well, I know in my case that I have some Lyran ties, so this is not a surprise. When I looked up Melrose, numerically, hi Phil, we're not talking about that right now, but maybe in another show about who Lucifer is and what exactly was going on. Okay, so Melrose, it breaks down numerically to 33, a master number, a master teacher. If I was trying to do that, I couldn't do that. You break it down further, of course, which you don't do to master numbers, but if you do break it down, it comes to 6. And I really have this written down, but it's in my it's in my tablet here. We took a look at the numerology, and the numerology fits exactly the message. They're coming to see us. They're family. Don't be afraid. When they show up, did they say they were from Three Eye Atlas? No. Did he say they were coming physically this time? Yes. And I'm thinking that Three Eye Atlas is a craft. and they are coming physically. And what I'm seeing in my head, and I have to translate this, what I'm seeing in my head is they are going to send out craft. Where probably some people are going to tell us that this is part of a comet tail breaking away. Other people are going to say we're being invaded because they want to do the blue beam thing. Okay, we're going to get conflicting points of view. The truth is going to be they're our family coming to say hi finally. Now, when we ran the gematria, which Richard, where is Richard? Did that. Richard ran the gematria, and there are some very interesting, of course, gematria hits with Melrose. So if you are into gematria, go ahead and run that. But the first three were really something. Reset, I mean, I can only remember the first two. Reset and Noah's Ark. And Richard was saying, that is a bad omen. And I'm saying, maybe for some people it's a bad omen. For us, it's an omen, all right. Not a bad one. They just said their family. And I got a very strong, positive read on this guy. They're not coming to hurt us. But if the gematria has anything to say about it, if that really has anything to do with this, they may be one of the ships that are going to help us out during the reset. So, you know what that means. I know that you that are my general crew here in here all the time, I know you probably know what that means. Because you know about how we've been told that the human race has been saved before by the ant people one time. I mean, various stories about how our species has been kept from total extermination. But I have been told for years that our families are going to come and help us out. Does this mean that Earth is going to change drastically? Yeah. Doesn't mean that maybe we're going to need some help. Yeah, it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? What exactly it means? This is what I'm hoping that we can pick up. And I'm going to be looking for some answers tonight live. They seem to want this stuff to happen live with witnesses, okay? They have not held back just because I'm on a live stream. They are not into the secrecy that the government is into. They want to be known. They want it to be known. They want it to be recorded. They want witnesses. And they're going to get them. Because I know I'm not the only person. I am definitely not the only person doing this kind of work. So, tonight, those of you who are able to do that kind of thing, you gave Alex a holler? Okay. Well, Alex, I think he was even here when I was talking about this before. What kind of a link did you give us, Hook? Because you're always giving us links that take us to a completely different subject, and I'm not really happy with that. They configured the orbit cameras on Mars pointing out. Hope that was successful. Yeah, it would nice. It would be nice. Oh, so Hook, Unless it's on topic, would you please quit? Unless we're doing music, quit putting music links in here without saying what they are. If they're on topic, that's cool, but if they're not on topic, say, this is a music link. Because really, it's kind of stealing attention from the show. And if you're not really interested in what we're doing, that's kind of sad. I'm sorry. Sorry if I'm boring you. If this is a boring subject. But quit sending people off in a different direction, please. I love you, dear. Hello, Louis Ta. Yeah, I love music too. Just say, this is a music link, so we don't think that it's something actually related to what we're talking about. You know, can you do that much? When you hit a random link in there, it would make it so much easier. I don't mind that you like music and, it's just that, oh, let's just send them off somewhere else while we're talking about this. Let's just send a link out there. It was on my mind. It's like, okay, let's just hit a bunch of random links and not talk about this subject. And maybe I'm doing it. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Maybe this is not what you want to hear about. I don't know. You tell me. Is this interesting? It's very hard to be up here talking about a subject like this to begin with. I don't know how it's coming across on the other end. I don't know how you're taking this. I can't tell. I can't read your face. All I can see is what's in the comments, and if the comments are, go over here and look at this, it's like, I'm not really interested, let's go look at this. That's what it feels like. So, just letting you know that's how it feels. If you were doing live streams, you'd understand. This is hard because I'm not looking at a person, I'm looking at a screen. This is hard for me, and it's hard for me to read you all at once. Okay, love? I hope you're not insulted by that. She took off and stopped answering. She's probably insulted. Okay. Just hi, yeah, probably. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Hi, Woo. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I think it's getting to be I hope not everybody in the world can do what I do. And it does kind of cost me something to do this in terms of it's very nerve-wracking to be, in a way, to be channeling stuff. There are people that have so many judgments about this. And if I feel like it's not really being received, I'm wondering what I'm doing here. Because it's hard enough to be a channel without feeling like it's not going anywhere. It's hitting a brick wall. But I know that people are hearing it, but I don't get the feedback. It's rough. Having to go this alone. This is not, I'm not kidding about this. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, guys. This is what I'm really seeing. And the thing is, I'm usually right about this stuff. I think that's worth something. Dudes, I think it's worth a listen. Okay. Yeah, I hope she's not upset. I hope she's okay. Hi, Desert Rose. By the way, your character is now in the book. Your name in the book is Rose LaRue. Okay, Melrose, once again. Melrose, I'm just going to spit it out like this. Contacted me a few shows back, live on air, after I did some light language. Gave us a message that apparently, rather heartbreakingly, you guys don't remember. See, that's what I'm saying. I really wonder. I know that there are some of you who are hearing this, but some of you just seem to be ignoring it. It's like, why am I doing this? Well, because they're giving it to me to do. Maybe somebody somewhere is hearing it that wouldn't have heard it otherwise. Melrose is our contact from the Lyran Council. As crazy as that sounds to some people, and I think he has something to do with Three Eye Atlas. I think Three Eye Atlas is actually a craft. I have been right about so many things. You'd think that would actually net me a little bit more people paying attention. I have been right about many, many things that I've said. I really feel Melrose is coming in. That the reason he's getting in touch right now is because we're hearing about Three Eye Atlas. Three Eye Atlas is a ship in a cloak. It's a cloak ship, I think. Melrose said is a giant. He's a Lyran from the Lyran Council. He said, as far as I can tell, and he gave me the name Melrose because we can't really pronounce his name. But Melrose comes out to a 33 in numerology. Master teacher. I couldn't dream that up, okay? You can run the numerology yourself on that. If you want Melroze. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Three Eye Atlas in the context of remote viewing, since many of us go to remote viewing class and remote viewing practice. I thought this would be a really nice little group project for us to go and see what really is Three Eye Atlas. But I'm telling you right now, my money is on it's a craft. And my money is on Melrose is transmitting from there. And if you want to go back and see my shows on it, I've talked about Melrose at least twice now. But, we've gotten transmissions from several contacts. One of our other contacts being, the Tellurian fellow, Andros of Telluria. He is inner Earth, as far as I can tell. Andros is inner Earth. And I think the picture that I have of the craft that was outside my window, if you missed that, you really missed something. There was a craft outside my window. I had a witness. I took a picture. Of course, it's a blurry picture. They always are. But I have a picture of it. And I have a witness. It was just hanging there in the air still. That craft, I think, was actually from inner Earth. I don't think it was extraterrestrial. I think it was intraterrestrial, which is the name for the in the ones that come from inside instead of outside. They're not extraterrestrial. They're not from outside. They're from here, but a different version of here. Okay, so we've got extraterrestrials, intraterrestrials, and then there are these intradimensionals. They all exist as far as I can tell. And they all come from a little bit different version of reality, a little bit different realm than us. But we're attaining a certain frequency. You attain a certain frequency, you can pick up on them. Because as I was saying in the beginning of the show, our brain is just picking up on electrical signals. And we have a certain range. Now, if we're tuned differently, we're going to start to get a different frequency. We're going to be able to pick up different frequencies. That's what I think is actually happening. I don't know how to lay it out any more clear than that. So if you are of a certain frequency, if you are able to pick it up, you're going to start to get transmissions from these other realms. So you want to believe, well, Uncle Joe, show you how to deliver a margarita machine in Bounce House. Uncle Joe. Oh my goodness. Yes, Lewis, I think 3i Atlas is a mothership. That's what I think. Thank you, Sexy Sassy. I know you're paying attention. I know you've been paying attention. Thank you so much for letting me know. You don't know how hard this is to come out here and say this stuff that sounds, I know to normal people, normal, what the hell is normal, right? But I know to normal people, this sounds exactly whacked. Okay, I know how crazy this sounds in the context of what we laughingly call normalcy. Do you think I don't understand, folks, how crazy this can sound? But this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm experiencing. They're trying to tell us something that's going to be helpful to us. They're trying to help us out, folks. They don't want us to be afraid. There are people, as you know, that are going to try and propagate blue beam on us. They're telling us, don't believe it. Don't believe it. They are not coming to conquer us. That would have been all too easy. And we've already, anyway, we've already been invaded and conquered a long time ago. So, and what do I mean by that? Well, follow the show and you'll eventually figure it out. Yeah, we've already been invaded. We've already been conquered. This is a long, long time ago. We're on the verge of our freedom. We're on the verge of freedom. Because we've finally gotten enough people now that are of the frequency and of the belief and of the open-mindedness to be able to believe that there is something besides what we've been told. There are enough people mistrusting the lies that we've been told for centuries that now they can finally speak to some of us. Now they can finally communicate with some of us. And they want to help. There are beings out there that want to help. They are not all like the Greys, okay? The Greys were, oh Lord, they're out of my life, thank goodness. You know, I got all kinds of opinions about the Greys. There are different types of Greys too, but I have all kinds of opinions about what was going on there. As far as DMT, yeah, I can explain it, but I can't understand it for you exactly, Uncle Joe. Thanks, Desert, for asking the question. Yes. Is it danger that they're coming? They're coming because our frequency finally hit our total. How can I put this? The 100th monkey finally hit, whatever you want to call it. You know, the 100th monkey effect. We have finally crossed the point of there are enough humans on the planet who are holding a specific frequency and higher that can actually shift things and actually hear them, which means it's time. We have matured enough. Let's put it that way. That might be another way of saying it. DMT should be avoided. Well, you can't really avoid it because your brain makes DMT, Lewis. Yeah. So the thing is, it does actually make DMT, your brain, to not a lot. And DMT is a very short effect. But as far as using it as a party favor, I'm not sure that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Okay, I don't think so. But if you know what you're doing, I mean, if you go into this with the right mindset, it is something your body makes. But know what you're doing. That's all I'm saying, because you can really find yourself in quite an interesting place. Yeah. I mean, you know. Well, yeah, and look at what happened to Rogan. Well, he's a crazy nutball. No, he's not. Wait, no, he's not. Actually, he changed his mind quite a bit because he smoked that DMT. I can't tell you to do it. I can't tell you not to. You're grown-ups, aren't you? You're adults. You can make these decisions. I can say, be prepared. anything you decide to do like that. If you're going to be a psychonaut, just prepare yourself. It may not be what you're expecting. You may not see what you think you're going to see. Because a lot of it is also colored by whatever your filters got. And if your filters have some very dark stuff in there, you're going to see some very dark stuff. Okay? What spectrum do you naturally pick up? But yeah, the old elder shamans in the old days, they used power substances to show people that there was more to life than what the Matrix was pulling over your eyes. Okay? That's what shamans did, was they saw beyond the illusions. And if you get to a certain point, you will see beyond it too. That's why I said the shaman life chose me. Some people, it feels like it's choosing you instead of you're choosing it. But if you are naturally receptive, here we can talk about star seeds or whatever you want to call it. You know, some people go, oh, star seed salesman. You know, it's like, I don't know what you want to call it. Okay? If you want to call it something different, you can call it something different. I don't care. There are those of us who know that we don't come from here and we get very homesick because of that. Well, I just read earlier in the show, 20 scientists have signed a paper to say that 3i Atlas could be a spacecraft. I just read that to you guys. You can back up the show and check it out. I read an excerpt from that. It's right on Google. It came right up in my feed. 20 scientists are saying 3i Atlas maybe a spacecraft because they're getting radio signals out of there. So, with that, I think it's just about time. There's enough of us here that know how to do remote viewing. And for those of you who don't and would like to try, it's not that hard. It's a natural human ability. You just have to quiet your thoughts. I'm going to give you a coordination point. But we've already said we're going to be looking at 3i Atlas. Usually you don't get to know what you're going to view. That way you can be, you don't have your own filters in the way, so to speak. You can be more objective, but at this point we're going to be what they call front-loaded. But I just want to see what we can get on our own here. Human power, or whatever you happen to be from, with our own abilities. So I'm going to help a little bit by saying, please call your guidance around you, your protectors, to protect you while you're viewing, whatever you believe that to be. Because if you're religious, you may do it differently than other people. You know, people in different religions do this differently, different beliefs. But put your protection around you. Calm yourself down and start breathing a little bit slower. And in order to do this, to kind of prep you for this in case you're haven't done this, we're going to do a little bit of slow breathing, and I'm going to do some oming, and you can om with me if you don't want to. You don't have to, but it helps. We're going to do a few breaths first. We're going to go 6 in and, no, wait a minute, 4 in and 6 out. Count of 4 in breath, count of 6 out breath. And the reason we're going to do that is we're going to engage our vagus nerve. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it there a second. Breathe out through your mouth slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now breathe in again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it a moment. Breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it a moment. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to do 3 ohms. That's traditional. Now, just close your eyes. Close your physical eyes. Open your third eye. And on the dark screen of your closed eyes, there may be pictures, there may be words, there may be smells, there may even be voices, there may be recollections, there may be anything. But we're going to take a look at target D3I, coordination. D3I. And in capital letters, don't worry, we're not going to worry about you yelling at us. In capital letters, so we can tell you what your impressions are, please type your impressions. And when you're done, I'll tell you what I'm getting. Okay. Please type your answers in all caps so that I know. Okay. And I'm going to give you some time to do that. Okay, Phil Curtis, nice that you came by. Thank you, Desert Rose. For those of you who are not participating, this might be kind of a boring part. But take a look. You might be surprised. You might be able to see more than you think. A lot of people have not seen anything and then suddenly just come online and it's like, oh my gosh, I am seeing stuff. I am feeling stuff. I am hearing stuff. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Desert Rose. And okay. Right ear is ringing. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we have had a mothership for a long time here. That was way back when I told you the ships were coming. That was years ago. And sure they did. I said that years ago. The ships are coming. They're going to be here physically. 3i Atlas, I don't believe it's the same ship. Right ear is ringing. Yeah. I get ringing ears before I start doing light language or hearing transmissions. Yeah, I think they're going to try and make us panic too. And I keep hearing, don't panic. Okay. Rose, I very much appreciate your taking a look at that. I very much appreciate it. What I'm getting is, yes, it is a craft. Is Melrose on there? Yeah. Are there beings from the Lyran Council, and it looks like Pleiadians, perhaps Arcturians, and a few others? There's a smattering of different beings in the core of that craft. And it is a ship. It isn't the same one that's been here, of course. We've had that one. I told you years ago that was coming. It did show. I'm glad you got to hear it. Okay, I also saw a fellow that looked like a panther. It was consistent with the one that they call Oxa, or Oxa, that other channels have come across. And actually, I saw flashes of him when I met Melrose. So I believe I'm right about this. I think what I'm getting is those are emissaries. And of course, it's going to be too big to land. Of course, it's not going to land. But there are going to be smaller craft. Those will land. And some of them will come here physically. That's what I'm getting. So take it or leave it. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to land. The main ship, of course, will not land. It's going to be way too big and it would cause too many problems. Okay. See, I'm getting that the debris is that we're actually going to have some smaller ships, and they are going to land. And of course, anything that big, I guess it would pull debris with it. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think it's Rapture. No, I don't think it's the Rapture. No. Okay, Elderberry. That's okay. Things happen as they happen. Okay. I don't know that the rapture is going to happen like people think it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I know it's probably not going to. The rapture is not going to be what people think. Nope, not at all. That is for another show, though. That's totally for another show. Too big of a subject. Yeah, Lewis, that's what I think too. It's going to be ascension. Absolutely, Desert Rose. It's going to make people act very strange. Yeah. People are going to get really strange. They already are very strange. We've got people laughing at an assassination. We think we're getting better. You know what? I knew an atheist, and he said, well, we're nicer than we used to be. I said, are we? Are we really? Have we changed that much? Or is it just under the surface now more? Concerns me. If you can laugh at an assassination, of somebody that never did anything to you, not really. I could almost see it if they tortured you for months on end, or days on end even. I could almost see it. When they didn't do anything really to you. There's something else at work here. If I were going to put a standard name on it, I'd say demonic. Or is it a result of the experiment? I think maybe both. Yeah, they're usually high profile people. That's true. Hawkeye called. I can't even see Hawkeye most of the time, even if I try and find him. Oh yeah, people probably going to act like some people are going to be like doomsday. They're going to try and do the blue book thing, or the blue beam, whatever they're calling it, where it's an alien invasion thing, and they're probably going to do all that shit. So they're going to try. We've been warned it's not that, okay? So if you hear that, it's not that. I'm being told explicitly it's not that. They're not the ones doing whatever you're seeing happen. Hey, Richard the Red. Yeah, Desert Rose, I really appreciate you saying that too, because yeah, don't fear. They're telling us don't fear. Oh, let me show you the little buckaroo right here. He's my little cow cat. He's a mutely too. And he's cute enough. Cute enough for two. He's a cow cat who's never seen a cow, except in burgers and beef cat chow. Fill his food bowl up when he says meow. Being a kitty's okay, it sure is. Being a kitty's okay. Muttle doodle doo. And mutely doodly doo. My cute little cake. Sweet boy. Sweet little boy. One day we gotta get you your own channel, pal. Of the two of us, you're the one who went viral. You. That's right, you. Oh, look, he's gonna do his nose scratching thing with my finger. Oh, for Pete's sakes. It's kind of gross, but actually it's one of the funniest things. You make me laugh, you little snot. You make me laugh. That's funny. That's funny. He says, Mom, I ain't got fingers, but you got a finger. Can I borrow your finger, Mom? To scratch my nose? Can I? You're adorable, Mr. Cake. Okay. There's your dose of kitty cuteness. He loves his head scratches. He's such a good little boy. Yeah, I've seen that too, Desert Rose, a tidal wave. There is going to be a tidal wave. Really big. Unless we decide that we're going to mitigate that, and we can. I think it's heading into, I think by next year. Oh, I got your hairs up my nose, cowboy. Thanks a lot. Now I got to do the rest of this with your hair up my nose. See what Mommy goes through for you? Now my nose itches. Can I use your claw? Can I borrow your claw? Anyway. You're interested about the other comets. Well, let's take a look. Close your eyes. We'll give them a designation of D. I'm going to just give them a random designation of D13. So D13, you can write it 3 times. Put a little symbol next to it. Close your eyes and see what you see. You know how to do this. You've been remote viewing for a while. Okay. I'm going to keep what I'm getting to myself until you guys have a chance to answer. Please type your answer in all caps, just like you do in Max's class. All you're seeing is a map? That's interesting. A map. Can you see what it's a map of? Maybe there is a plan. Maybe you're getting a little bit more than you expected. I know what I'm getting. There you go. Okay. Please type your answers in all caps. I'm not going to tell you guys how to do this. You've been at Max's class often enough to know how to do this. Red. Interesting. Okay, please type it in all caps. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to let other people have their, try not to look. Have your own experience, please. Give us your own experience. As many different viewpoints as we can get is going to be what we need. Okay. Thank you, Elderberry, for taking a look at that. Yeah, I believe it will. Yeah, I shouldn't say anything until you're done. I expect there are 2 planets that are particularly going to feel it. But the closer it comes, the more we're going to feel it. Well, we are recording this so that in the future we can look back and say, we nailed it. So now I'm going to read what you got, what you've been getting. Please keep looking. So we're going to do it a little different from we do it at Max. Desert Rose got a ringing frequency, also debris behind it. It's extremely hot. I saw several layers of it. Lewis's right ear was ringing in a very high frequency. Mothership is not 3i Atlas. It's been here a few years back. It was above us and was making a loud humming sound. I agree. We've had a mothership above us for quite a long time. And Rose was saying she actually heard it, and it was amazing to hear. Hello, Andrea Hector. We are taking a look at 3i Atlas, among other things. Thank you. Is this the best channel? That's nice. To help your algorithm, well, that's sweet, is the Atlas ship a command ship of the Galactic Federation of Light. I am thinking that. Yeah, I am kind of getting, and I am also getting what Desert Rose is getting. You had telepathic message, it isn't going to land. It'll go by and leave debris, although I am getting it. Of course, it's not going to land. It's way too big. I'm getting that the debris will not be actually debris, some of it. Although some of it will be, most of it got that it will cause people to act strangely when it's closest to Earth flying by. I agree. And Elderberry says I jive with the hive. I'm not sure who the hive is. If the hive is us, thank you very much. That's nice. And yeah, Lewis thinks people would act like maybe it's doomsday, and I agree. Some of them will. And now, what's to fear? Our souls are forever. Okay, so some people like Elderberry are seeing paths around the sun, like orbiting around the sun. I totally believe that. Might be using the slingshot effect, right? Which, by the way, we first saw in Star Trek. Mars may be area. The frequency will shake up other planets. Desert Rose says, yes, I agree. That's definitely going to happen. Since it's going to pass right between Jupiter and Mars, my guess is those two are going to get the brunt of it. What if it stops on the other side of the sun? Isn't that interesting? It will change the paradigm 100%. I agree with that too. Then we would see a higher frequency of solar flares and more intense northern lights. Yes, we would. Volcanoes and earthquakes will occur, and they already are. So it's going to get more intense. Yes, it is. I see that too. So we're sort of seeing similar things here. Frequency would cause some people to go nuts, similar to the full moon. Full moon is not what it seems. It's a space station transmitting frequencies. Yeah, we know. The Earth has been watching us for a very long time. The moon has been watching us. What did I say? Wow. Moon has been watching Earth for a long time. It's not a natural object. We know this. You can keep looking at this thing as long as you want, as these things. Now let us know what you get. because everything we can pull in. Yeah. I'm getting this is why I got transmissions from these people. They're trying to get us ready for all that's about to happen. They don't want us to be afraid. They don't want us to be unprepared. I already told you I had an experience where I know that part of me is already heading back home. And Othello told me that where that part of me is going, the rest of me is going to be sure to follow. They've already taken part of me back home. So I have nothing to fear. Eventually I'm going to be heading back home. The rest of me. And since then I have felt different. Very different. Today was a portal day. I hope you had a wonderful day today. I spent a lot of time sleeping. I know I was busy doing work, as I often am when I'm sleeping. If you're sleeping a lot, oh my goodness, if you're sleeping a lot, don't worry about it. You're okay, because honestly, you're probably doing stuff in your sleep too. Because for a lot of us, that's when we're actually doing half our work. So let yourself have the rest you need. No. Okay, apparently we have done some time traveling ourselves. YouTube is telling me I've only been on 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Did that feel a little bit longer to you? I'm not kidding. It's telling me I've only been on 6 minutes and now 29 seconds. I call cap on that. So I don't know how long I've been on, but longer than that. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm feeling about 2 hours. Why is it telling me I've been on under 10 minutes? See, this is the kind of shit that happens to me, guys. I'm supposed to just take it all in stride. You think this is easy? Well, I've been on 2 hours. If you get any more about 3-Eye Atlas, and if you want to discuss it, we do have a new community area in the channel. You can find in our channel where you can chat. I don't get a chance to chat very much or see other channels very often. I'm too busy working. I have a very few channels I get a chance to even look at. I'm busy working or I'm sleeping, or working on something and sleeping, working on something and sleeping. I manage to get to a few places sometimes. Sometimes I get to Victor's place, sometimes I get to Josh's place. Try to get to Max. Was Max even on? Was John even on this? I couldn't find him. I couldn't find John on the whole weekend. Was he even on? Did anybody see him? Yeah, all the coastlines would be dangerous. Okay, that might explain it. Maybe he was out having a good time. Okay, Desert Rose, yeah, I'm about to close it out anyway. Thanks to everybody who came and participated. I really appreciate your input. Thanks for the feedback. It really helps me. It helps me keep doing this. Thanks. Love you guys. And I miss you when I don't see you. Everybody have a good sleep. Record your dreams. They might be pretty wild. And let us know if you get any messages. Truth is where you find it. Hope you're always finding some here. Have a wonderful night.